So let's talk about Shakur Stevenson and the deal that he just signed with Eddie Hearn. Also, him supposedly fighting Joe Cordina next. Let's cook on this. But somebody else just came and threw a wrench in this whole situation. We're going to talk about that also. But before we do all that, make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's cook on all of this. So now all of these fans are outraged because we've been hearing reports that Shakur is about to fight Joe Cordina, right? We talking about the same fans that were saying they didn't want to see Shakur versus Tank. They didn't want to see Shakur run around and run from Tank for 12 rounds. Nobody wants to see that fight. But all of a sudden, everybody want to see that fight. That's the best fight that can happen in boxing. We want to see it. I want to see that fight very bad, right? I think that Shakur and Tank is the best fight that can happen in boxing, if not one of the best fights that can happen in boxing. But we know the history, the back and forth, right? Now, I'm hearing everybody, well, all of these Gervonta Davis diehard fanatics, right, acting like they so mad because Shakur doesn't continue to call out Gervonta Davis. Why did he take a fight with Joe Cordina? Why is he doing this? Well, for one, right, Tank Davis and his team didn't send no type of offer, no contract, no nothing. For two, Shakur was supposed to fight William Zepeda. That was the fight that myself and everybody thought was going down next. But William Zepeda, he ducked Shakur once again, right? So he looking, because he needs to stay active. Let's just keep it a buck. He needs to stay active. He's looking down the line. And when you look down the line at 135, all he sees is fighters that's ducked him, another fighter that didn't duck him, duck. You go down the line. If they ain't fought him, they ducked him. And I'm not talking about Gervonta Davis. I'm talking about all these other fighters, right? So when it comes to the reported, that he's going to fight Joe Cordina next, that's a fight that people were asking for at 130 pounds, right? Joe Cordina is coming off a knockout loss. And we know how boxing fans do nowadays. When you take a L, you ain't shit, you're a cab driver, all of that, right? But Joe Cordina is one of the most skillful fighters that was at 130 pounds, was a champion in reign for a while. And so, man, he was a solid fighter. He was a solid fighter. Yeah, he had a slip up and got knocked out, but he's a solid fighter. Now, if you ask me, when you say Shakur fight Joe Cordina next, is that a fight that I want to see like that? Absolutely not. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not excited because he fighting Joe Cordina. Will I watch it? Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Just like a lot of these other fighters that got big names, they fight guys that we don't want to see them fight, but we still watch it, right? It's not a fight that I think is a big fight that everybody going to be excited about. No. But at the end of the day, just like Shakur Stevenson came out and said today, he don't supposed to wait around on the next man. Everybody talking about, well, why he ain't call out Tank? But the same people, they haven't said a word about why we haven't heard a peep from Gervonta Davis, right? All these lies that's being pushed out. You're lying on Gervonta Davis every day, saying, oh, well, man, they sent the contract. They haven't sent a contract. They haven't sent an offer. Nothing. Matter of fact, for those who are running around with these lies saying that they sent Shakur a contract and he didn't accept it, don't you think Leonard Ellaby would have been all in front of the camera? I told you, man, these guys don't want to fight Tank. When the time comes, we see what these guys do. Tank the best fighter in the world. He would have been the first one on camera. Calvin Ford would have been all in the camera. Calvin Ford, we do what we do. See, when we do what we do, and we sent him a contract and he didn't want to sign it. They would have told you how much the contract was for and all of that shit. This shit would have been all over the internet. Michael Benson, all these dudes would have been reporting this shit. But some of y'all are retarded enough to believe these lies that's been put out. Boxing Voice, they put out a video with Shakur Stevenson's co-promoter saying that, he didn't mind if the fight, didn't happen until 2 years, right? That video, that audio, right? That interview was done the weekend of Devin Haney and Lomachenko. But they tried to put out the narrative that interview was just done last week. You see, it's a bunch of narratives and y'all don't care about the truth. How come y'all ain't asked, what does Gervonta Davis actually want to do? Because we ain't heard from Tank Davis, right? What does he want to do? We got all these bull-ass channels that's coming out saying, Tank this and Tank that and Tank this, when y'all ain't heard nothing from Tank. So at the end of the day, it's not Shakur Stevenson's duty as a man, right, having his own career, to have to wait around on another man. You got to eat. He got a mouth to feed. He got, bills to pay, all of that. You don't wait around on another man, because we see this happen so many times in boxing, right? You wishing and praying for a Gervonta Davis fight. And I'm just using him as an example, right? You wishing and praying for a fight to happen. And then that guy says, you know what? I'm going a different direction. Now you asked out, you ain't got nobody to fight, and you ended up sitting on the shelf for a year because you was waiting on one fighter and it didn't come through. So yeah, man, Shakur did the right thing to stay active. Now, if Gervonta Davis's team had actually sent the contract and then Shakur said, you know what, I'm gonna fight a Joe Cordina, I'm gonna fight anybody else. Oh yeah, I would have been on his helmet. I would have been on his helmet, because then we could say, okay, yeah, you ducked. You talked all of that stuff and you ducked. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. And when Shakur says, y'all crying about me, oh, he ain't calling Tank out, he ain't saying Tank name and Tank is free. How many times you want the man to tell you when Gervonta Davis is ready to fight, I'm ready. When he let me know that he wants to fight me next, I'm ready. Well, I'm going to keep on calling the man's name out for it. Y'all the same ones that's coming up with these narratives that were saying, oh, he begging, he clout chasing. Why he begging for a fight? So, man, you can't win. There's a lot of y'all just ignorant, man. A lot of y'all just plain out, flat out ignorant. You don't care about the truth. You just want a narrative, right? You just want to push a narrative that goes with whatever your argument is, right? And it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, if Joe Cordina is the only fighter that has somewhat of a name that's willing to fight him, and they willing to pay Shakur Stevenson for it to stay active, stay active. But like I told y'all, somebody came and threw a wrench in this whole situation, because Robert Garcia, the trainer of Raymond Moore Tyler, he came out and he said he ready. He said they ready. Now, I'm kind of sensing a little bit of BS from Robert Garcia and his team, because now you come out and all of a sudden you ready to fight Shakur when you hear that he signed a one-fight deal with Matchroom to fight Joe Cordina, right? But all of a sudden now you saying that y'all ready. So I don't know what to believe. I'm not saying that he capping. I'm just saying I'm not going to believe that just yet. But keep that in mind, that Robert Garcia did come out on X today and, let that be known. So let's see. It could be tactics by Top Rank at the last minute, trying to get Shakur not to sign no deal with Eddie Hearn, right? And to go over there and sign a deal with them so they can keep him on Top Rank, because we heard Bob Arum in his last interview. He said he wants Shakur back. We know that Bob Arum and Jay Prince and Shakur's whole team, they only work with Top Rank. So let's see, man. Let's see what goes down. But at the end of the day, whatever he got to do to stay active and not sit on the shelf, get your bag. Stay active. Stay ready. Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.